Hey there, how are you? So in this video, I'm gonna do something fun. We're gonna do a little bit more testing. Always love tests because they always give some insight on what you should do and what you shouldn't do, or what you should buy and shouldn't buy, right? So anyway, this video is gonna be all about testing the performance of this. Now this is a Steeda throttle body spacer for the 2.3 EcoBoost. Now I had one of these for the SHO, and I noticed a little bit of a difference. I mean, just a little bit. But I never got around to actually measuring that difference. Unfortunately, I had to part ways with the SHO before I ever got around to doing that. But now I have a fresh start. I have a fresh vehicle and a fresh throttle body spacer. So in today's video, we're gonna actually find out if this does anything at all. So we're gonna measure 0 to 60 times before and after using a draggy and see if this makes any difference whatsoever. Now I'm gonna make this video as short and simple as possible. So we're just gonna do 2 runs. We're gonna average them out, see what I get before the installation of throttle body. I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna quickly throw it on. These are simple as anything to put on. Then we're gonna immediately go back out, do 2 more runs, average them out, see if there's any difference whatsoever. And then, of course, I'm just gonna drive around. I'm just gonna kind of give you my impressions, if I notice any difference or not, and whether this is just a really pretty paperweight or it's actually a useful part. Of course, like all my previous tests in this car, it's going to be done in drag strip mode. This test will be done with traction control on and in sport mode. Now I usually also take video with the draggy. You know, I kind of like the draggy video as well. But for some reason I cannot find my other camera mount to mount my phone onto the windshield. So you're just gonna have to take my word for it. And if I have to, I'll post a screenshot of the results, so you believe me. All right, ready for the first test here. To keep the results as consistent as possible, I'm just gonna floor it. So here we go. All right, not bad, not great, not bad. Let's do one more test, see what the average runs are. Okay, ready for test number 2. Everything's reset. All right. So we got our 2 base runs down. Let's go back home. Let's put in the throttle body spacer and do this again and see what we get. And just like that, throttle body spacer is in. So now let's get back in the car, get back to the test road, see if it makes any difference. You know, I haven't even made it to the road yet, and I actually noticed a difference. It's the same difference I noticed in the SHO. It kind of like smooths out the torque down low. The torque feels strong, but it feels very linear and smooth. It doesn't feel like, the car doesn't feel jerky or just kind of like, I don't know, it smooths out throttle there in the low end. So I've noticed that immediately. Now, does that change the power? Probably not, maybe, I don't know. And maybe it does something if it was put on the dyno. We really need to find out if it does anything at wide open throttle. That's where the real question is. Now, I'm just curious to know if this actually does help with low end, because the thing is with this car, unless you're brake boosting it, it is a little lazy off the line until boost kicks in. So I'll be curious to know if it does anything under, usually about 2,800 RPMs, the car comes alive. So let's see if that helps below that, if at all. Well, here we are. Let's floor it. Okay, so immediately I noticed that boost didn't kick in until a little bit later. It felt a little bit more lazier, actually. Like once I got past 3,000 RPM, then it just kind of like came in all of a sudden. And that run wasn't significantly faster either than the previous 2 runs. A disclaimer, the fastest I've gone 0 to 60 in this car is 5.2 seconds with a rollout of 4 seconds. Right now the car is heat soaked, it's hot, the air conditioning's on, And I have 87 in the tank because your boy is a little broke right now. So, so these results are not what the car is capable of doing. I just want to see before and after differences with the throttle body spacer. Anyway, I'm gonna get this second run here out of the way and tally the times for both runs. Okay, second run here. Yeah, it's like nothing until 3,000. Oh, geez, nothing until 3,000 RPM, and then it just comes in like a hammer. All right, so we got our times all together here. Let's see what we're looking at. So for the first set of runs with the throttle body spacer not on the car, average time between the two runs were 5.89 seconds to 60. Now the two runs after installing the throttle body spacer, and I could actually tell that things didn't seem to be quite as quick. It was actually a little bit slower. So those two times together were 5.94 seconds, 0 to 60. A difference of 0.005 of a second, which I'm going to claim that that's in the margin of error. I don't even think that there was a difference with or without it. The car is getting a little heat soaked here, doing run after run. I have to wait for traffic to pass sometimes between these runs. So, as far as the drag is concerned, I don't see any benefit, any improvement in power. However, like I said, I could feel a little bit more smoother torque transition in the lower RPMs. Like I said, in the SHO, I noticed a tiny little difference. It wasn't a major difference. It just kind of made it feel a little bit more spry in the lower RPMs when boost is kind of coming in, when the boost ramps in. But as you can see here, it actually doesn't even seem to help at all. Wide open throttle, I mean, it's no faster. And like I said, it seems to be a delay in boost, which is kind of weird. It comes in heavy after 3,000 RPM, where before it wouldn't do that. So I'm not really sure what's actually causing that, but I mean, that's the difference before and after the throttle body spacer. So hopefully this video provided some information towards the throttle body spacers. Is it something I would recommend? If you have some money burning a hole in your pocket and you want to do something to your car, you know, like this one was 60 bucks from CJ Pony Parts. It's a simple mod, easy to put in. It may do something, it doesn't do a whole lot. So there are definitely other things you can do for your money, but in terms of things you can do for 60 bucks, there isn't much you can really do for 60 bucks. So this is, you know, something you can do, you know, if you want to tinker around with your car a little bit. Don't expect massive results. But with that said, that will be it for this video. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with everyone you know, and if you want to see more content like this, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, keep a lookout for the next true Ford enthusiast video.